Hello Flosstube, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and we're here for our January wrap-up February planning video. This is take 2 for me because I forgot to delete the last time's video, which meant I ran out of storage an hour in, so I'm going to try to pare it down, not get lost on so many rabbit trails, and try to do this again. It's pretty late over here, so I need to get this wrapped up. Okay, so enough rambling. This is going to be a long video, that being said, because this is the Olympics is this month, so there's a lot of plans to do with that. I do have a whole page of notes, and I have my planner with a bunch of notes. And I have a lot of piles all around me. So, let's try to get through this. Okay, first thing, I want to thank you guys so much for your amazing feedback and support on my last video in the comments. I've said it before, but this is an amazing community. And the outpouring of love that I felt from your comments and those who reached out to me was just indescribable, and it really it lifted me up and it took me out from the negative headspace that I was in, and it just really did brighten and change my attitude and change so much, and I want to thank you guys for that. I got a lot of advice given to me from the nurses who watch, telling me not to listen to Dr. Google. I listened to you guys about that, and I'm not listening to Dr. Google. To the people who messaged me who struggled with their own health issues, whether it was diabetes or something else, and they just encouraged me. They gave me tips about what helped them. And I got private messages, and all of it welcome, and all of it was amazing. And I want to thank you guys so much for really being you and watching my videos and just surrounding me with love when I needed it. And there's too many people to mention, but you know what you did, and I sincerely thank you so much. So, now let's get on to the stitching. First, I did an FFO. I stitched this last year. Excuse me. I've been talking for over an hour. Now I've got another hour to go. So I stuck this on some sticky board and glued a magnet on the back so it's ready for the chalkboard. I did manage to stain it right here in the finishing process. I don't know how, but it was suddenly there. So at some point I might need to tear the finishing apart and restitch that, but you guys know me, I'm pretty easygoing, and so it's all good for now. And I'm going to put it there. And as you can see, I've updated the chalkboard. I am loving the chalkboard. Crossing things off. I want to get some colorful chalk just to make it more fun, but I haven't done that yet. My next finish is that I did finish Town Church, and oh my gosh, what just fell? Things are gonna fall, guys. I'm just gonna have to accept that. Town Church by Little House Needleworks, part of the Hometown Holiday series, and I stuck this on some sticky board. It's gonna join Tree Lot in my office. I know it's seasonal, but I don't care. It's staying up year round. I just stuck a cheap magnet on, wrote my name and the date of finish. Yeah, so that's ready to take to work. I got very little stitches done on None of It Santa. About one length of this color into the polar bear. I'm very nearly done with all the cross stitching, and then it will be beading. I meant to get this done in January, but it didn't happen with all the things, with all the things going on in my life. I just, it didn't get done. So hopefully in this next few days, though, that it will. I worked on Silent Night Lane by Donna Gelsinger, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I only got in about, this is the only project I have on Q-Snaps. I know I said I'm giving up Q-Snaps, I am, but this was just the best form to fit this in because, yeah, anyways. My hands are doing much better, guys. Almost no pain at all, ever. Very rarely I'll get a little bit of pain in my knuckles, but almost no pain. So switching from Q-Snaps has helped me tremendously because I very rarely wear those braces, to tell you the truth. They're just, it's not practical for my lifestyle, meaning I don't like to sleep in them. I only wore them, well, I would wear them around the office a little bit, but I was constantly hitting the wrong keys on the keyboard and stuff. It was just difficult. Anyways. I only got in about 150 stitches. This box, and then all the parked threads that were in this box. I've got about 1,300 stitches to go on this one for my winter goal. And a month and a half, 2 months to finish it. So, I mean, but I've got 4 winter goals, so this one needs to be done. Next up, and this is in no particular order. The His Hands piece that I'm working on for my dad. I am a little bit behind on my scripture studies, so I'm going to need to double up this week. And so I got some done in here and some down in here. According to the way that I folded my pages, I'm about 1/8 of the way done. Just under. So hopefully that'll be done this year. Next up is the piece that I got the most work in since I last saw you guys. And that is A Christmas Carol by Dean Morrissey, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is what I'm doing this extreme cross country, and this is what it looks like so far. And what I worked on since we spoke last is over here. So, I did all that, the black in here, all this black over here, 1,200 stitches. It was for the By the Numbers challenge from the Full Coverage Fanatics group. This will be the piece I'll be working on in February for that same 1,200 stitches challenge. And then the last piece that I've worked on is one that actually I worked on a little bit today, and that is the next part of the class schedule, Harry Potter class schedule. Sal was released, and it's potions class. And so I got to start on that, and I hope to maybe finish it before bed. Because I'm having to redo this video, it is getting really late, so I'm not positive that I'll be able to, but here's to hoping. And this is what I've done so far. So I did potions. I started on the cauldron, so I have about 6 rows of the cauldron left. And then there's a handle and some like wisps coming off. And then over here, there's a table with 3 potion bottles. So if I put on a book, an audio book, I might be able to get this done. I am a night owl, so staying up late is usual for me. But I still want to go take a walk for exercise, and I need to eat. So we'll see. And that's all that I worked on since we last spoke. I want to talk about some of my planned starts for February. And these that I'm going to show you is not in conjunction with the Olympics challenge or anything like that. So, the next Mill Hill kit that I intend on finishing in February, starting and finishing, is this little Holiday Express train. And this is for my nephew Hayden. He loves trains. He's obsessed with them. He's adorable, 3. And this is small. Like, compared to the Santa, it's really small. So I think it's doable to attempt to finish this and get this one in as my purse smalls that I carry around with me. The next one up in my Hometown Holiday series is the Florist. I think that's really cute. And this one is, it's a bit smaller than the last one. So hopefully it'll stitch up faster. I was looking at all the charts in this series the other day, and I noticed that only 2 of them out of the 15 that have been released don't have a little cardinal somewhere on it. So I plan on putting a cardinal somewhere in those 2. I don't remember one of them, but I think one that didn't was the Carolers, and I don't remember the other one. It was one of the first ones, though. So, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but yeah, I want them all to have that. The next new start that I'm planning is, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Flosstube channel, the Needle Bug. She's new-ish to Flosstube. I think she started sometime in December, but I only discovered her last week. And she is going to be doing a Hardanger tutorial series. So it's not just like one video. She's going to be, she said, holding our hand as we go through the process of learning a Hardanger piece. And she provides all the diagrams and notes and stuff like that. So, being the somewhat crazy, overambitious person that I am, I've decided I'm going to stitch 2 simultaneously. So I have my 22 count Hardanger fabric. In her notes, she calls for an 8x8 piece of fabric. This is 12 by 18. So what I plan on doing is cutting it in half at the 18 mark and doing a 9 by 9. So it'll give me a little extra framing room or whatever. But, so why am I going to do 2? traditional heart hanger is white on white or like a crew on a crew, that type of thing. So I have the white on white in the two pearl sizes that are needed. So number 5 pearl cotton and number 8. So I'm going to do one in that traditional white on white. I'm going to do another one with this number 5 pearl cotton, and it will go with the, where's the number 12? This is the number 12. The number 12. So I'll have one that has some color in it, and I think that'll be really beautiful. And then with the white. And then another that will be traditional white on white. I just think it'll be really nice to have two. But I plan on doing those as the videos are released and doing both of them at the same time. But okay, and also tomorrow when I'm on the computer, because I upload these videos directly from my iPad, tomorrow when I'm on the computer, I will try to remember to link to her channel for you guys. So you can, if you want to join in the heart hanger stitch along, then you can. I think her first video with instructions will, she already has instructions about the SAL, but her first video where we start stitching is supposed to be next week, I believe. So, I'll try to remember to link to that. But as if all of that was not enough, I have another, and that is the Armada Designs Tiny Valentine Stitch Along that was released today, and that's like the tiny Christmas one, which I didn't finish, but it's in my plans to finish it, and it's just little parts that are released every day, and then it will make up a whole design. So the first part was released today. I haven't stitched it yet, but I just have some scrap fabric, 14 count I believe, that I will stitch this on. Okay. So, okay. So now we need to talk about my plans beyond those new starts that we just talked about. So I have been doing a rotation, and I don't want to give up on my rotation yet because I've only done 1 month of it, and we all know I like to make big plans and then I abandon the plans, and I don't want to do that yet. However, there is the Olympics. So what I've decided to do is for this month, I'm going to shorten each of my rotations from 4 days to 2 days. And that will allow me to fit each of the rotations except for the whim free stitching, which has been eliminated for this month, into the days surrounding the Olympics. So before and then after. So first we'll go through those plans, and then we'll talk about the Olympics, because I have a bit of an Olympics dilemma, and I need you guys to solve it for me by voting. So first up on my rotation is the class schedule. If I can finish that tonight, then hopefully I can pull up this rotation by 1 day, which will put me back on course. So I'd really like to do that. And I showed you guys that already. So there's that. Next is my year of whips time. Where is my, oh. I was like, where's my plans pile? I'm losing it. My year of whips piece, which, sorry my chair is so squeaky. Year of whips I plan on working on to have and to hold. I would really like to finish this piece this month. So, yeah. This is where I'm at. It's for my sister. And since she got married in 2015, she really should have it by now, because I started it in 2015. It's like one of those things when you realize that you're not going to make the date because, you know, it's the day before the wedding and you just have passed and you know you can't make it at that point. It just kind of goes away and you forget about it and it hides in that box of shame of like due dates that you didn't make. So I really want to finish this for her. So this is my top priority for Year of Whips right now. And I'm pretty close. Like, I just need to finish across the outline and then do the church portion on top, and then I'll be done. Oh, and I need to French knot their eyes. But, so, hopefully I can make some good progress on that. No, I don't want that to go there. I want that to go here. Next up, for the next 2 days, is my full coverage time. And the theme for February is pink or flowers. And I have a goal of 500 stitches. And I chose Lovers by Ninety Thomas. This is a retired chart that was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And while there isn't pink on this, these are flowers, and there's quite a few flowers. There's a flower in her hair. And so I would love to get 500 stitches done on this. This is where I'm at. And so, probably for the sake of easy counting, I'll try to, like, finish this row up here. That should be about 500 stitches, I think. The next 2 days are dedicated to my Year of Whips focus piece. And that is the green conversion of red. It was converted by Kelly Dunn, the Evergreen Stitcher, and I will try to remember to link her video to her video that she does the conversion in. So this is what it looks like in red. It's by Mirabilia. And here is where I'm at. I didn't work on this last month like I wanted to because I was down visiting my sister. So I really hope to get some good progress in her this month. I mean, I know I only have 2 days, but any progress would be good progress at this point because it's been a while. And that takes us up to the Olympics opening ceremony. So then I'll talk about the Olympics in a minute. We jump to the end of the month, and the 25th and 26th, it will be my Jane Austen Sal time. And I still need to finish the book. I need to watch the movies. So I need to fit a lot of Jane time in this month. But the piece I plan on starting for this is the Eleanor and Edward sampler from West Wind Designs. And I will be stitching this on a piece of 28 count. It's a very light yellow from Fiberlicious. It was a fabric of the month last year, and she didn't write a name on it, so I can't even tell you guys what the name of this fabric is, or even what month it's from. It has to be one of the first months, though. the last 2 days will be my by the numbers days, and I'm gonna need to probably try to steal another day at some point, because to fit 1,200 stitches in on work nights, that might be asking a lot. And I didn't give myself any wiggle room because it's the last 2 days. So, and that will be A Christmas Carol. And hopefully I'll finish at least one of those pages as I continue to try to work my way through the end of this row in that DMC 310. Okay, so that concludes my rotation. Now we need to talk about the Olympics and why I'm having a bit of a dilemma. Let me pull out my Olympics pile. Okay. I've had 2 thoughts and they're in completely different directions regarding stitching for the Olympics. One is to do the Stitch Mania's daily theme one, and I will go over those in a minute. The other, however, is to work on one specific piece throughout the entire Olympics and basically see how far I can get on that. And I chose a specific piece for reasons I'll explain. Okay, the piece is Around the World in 80 Stitches by Papillion. And I thought this one would be perfect for the Olympics because basically it's different, all these different specialty stitches from all over the world. And the Olympics is an event that brings athletes from all over the world together for one specific event. And this is all stitches from all over the world on one piece. And I thought that would just be really awesome and really in theme with the Olympics. Now this is a piece that I've had to restart. Let me show you why. Okay. This was my original start. And it makes me so sad that I need to restart this. But, I mean, the tape around it was back before I knew better. And there isn't any margin really for framing after I have to cut that tape off. And the other thing is there's a lot of hoop stains. I didn't know as much about keeping my hands clean and stuff. There's some purple stain over there. I don't know how that got there, but it did. And then additionally, I was beading as I went, and this was my first time beading on a project. This project has a lot of firsts for me. It was my first stitch along. I was doing it as the parts released. It was my first stitch along. It was my first time doing specialty stitches. It was my first time working with beads. There's just a lot of firsts on this project. So it makes me sad that it had to be restarted, but yeah, I love this piece. I really do. Oh, it was my first time picking out colors by myself. And I remember sitting on my bed with all this DMC around me and just like trying to pick colors. It took me hours. It took me hours. I hate having to pick out my own colors. I'm not good at it. It's a hard process for me. Anyways, so my first time with metallics, and this is actually a DMC metallic, which is a pain in the butt, but it looked really good. Like, it's a silver one that I chose. And I chose red and yellow beads, and I was so proud of this project. So I restarted it, if you can even really call it a restart. I have not even half of a heart done. And I'm not in love with this fabric because I don't like the flex in it. But it probably won't really be noticeable. I don't know. Okay, this fabric this project comes out to 20 by 20, which is a really awkward size when you're trying to buy fabric because not a lot of things fit. I mean, when you're, it's like 18 by 27 is the size a lot sell, right? And that's, it's too small because actually the size is 17 by 17, but they recommended 20 by 20 maybe? No. I don't know. No, you would need more than that. But, so then you would have to buy 26 by 36, and now we're getting expensive. And so, I don't know. For now, this is what it is. Anyways, but so I really love this theme. I really love this project, and this project meant so much to me, and I would love to work on this again. And so if I were to do that, I would then also carry this project over to the World Cup, which is this summer. And I've talked before, I'm a huge, huge soccer fan. I love soccer, or football, whatever you want to call it. And so I plan on watching every single World Cup game. It's a little crazy, but will I be getting much sleep during that time? No. No, I won't. But I'll be watching soccer and going to my place of employment. And then I'll be coming home. Anyways. Oh, random tangents. So, okay, so keep this in mind because in the end, I'm going to have you vote about whether I should do this or whether I should do the Stitch Mania one where I have specific projects picked out. So, let me go over those daily themes and what I have picked out. Hang on. I had the list up, but it went away. Okay, now we have it. Okay, so the opening ceremony, stitch on a new start or your most recent start. So for this one, I thought that I would actually start this one on that date, the Sense and Sensibility one. Part of the reason, sorry, I'm taking a peek at the time. Part of the reason is that it would give me an extra day to work on this, and since my plans for this were at the end of the month, it would give me an opportunity to work on it more. So I hadn't started it yet, so this would be that. Winter, so February 10th, Winter Olympics, stitch on any winter themed piece. And my plan for that is to work on Silent Night Lane. Like I said, I want to finish up this goal, this seasonal goal for this piece this month. February 11th, sorry, I have them pulled up on my phone. February 11th, stitch on a Korean themed piece. Neat ideas. Soda Stitch is a Korean designer. The South Korean flag has red, blue, white, and black in it. Okay, this one is a stretch, and I acknowledge it's a stretch. But for this, I chose Giant Harry Potter because those colors are all in it. Great, you have red in the Gryffindor flag, blue on the Ravenclaw. Their robes are black. There's black in the animals. The letters on the banners are black. I'm stitching it on white fabric, which they tell you not to do, but I did it anyways. Minor regrets about that, but whatever. We push on. So this is where I'm at. This is a Year of Whips project, and my goal for Year of Whips on this is to finish the motifs through year 2, book 2. So I have quite a bit of ways to go on this, as Gryffindor is the only banner I actually have finished, so I still have to do the others, and Slytherin's the only other one I have some work on. Hermione's missing. The P for in Harry Potter is missing. And then you still have to go on. So, quite a bit of work to do, but I do love this piece, and I would love to finish it. The next day is the mascots, and we're supposed to stitch on a piece with animals on it, and I did actually choose Harry Potter for this one too. There's some owls and a snake. All the banners have an animal in it, so that was my thought on that. On February 13th, speed skating, set yourself a time limit and see how much progress you can make in that time. Okay, I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I did pick Silent Night Lane, and what I thought I would do is create my own kind of competition against myself, versus myself, whatever, and basically time how long it takes me to do each 100 block, each 10 by 10 block of stitches. And so see how many I can get done, see how long each one takes me, and do that for however long I get that day. On February 14th, metals. Stitch on any piece requiring metallic or beads. And for that, I chose Celtic Winter from Lavender and Lace. It has beads, it has some metallic. I'm only there on it. This is a conversion that I went over in my last video, or the video before the last one. Number 21. And, so, yeah, it's got metallics, it's got metals. By metals, I mean beads. Jeez. Oh, boy. After that, February 15th is Skeleton. Stitch on any Halloween themed piece. And so for that, what I decided to do was the Mill Hill kits that I'm stitching for my family. For my aunt, I'm doing the Hocus Pocus trilogy. And we both thought she wants to be able to display them all year long, not just Christmas, or rather Halloween. But they're Christmas presents. We decided to stitch them on, well, I decided to stitch them on 14 count Aida so they could be turned into little cushions like how I did for my boyfriend. With a different fabric, of course, a Halloween one. And so I'm going to work on that. I'll start it for that Halloween day. On the 16th is Biathlon, stitch on 2 pieces today. And for that, I chose, throwing things on the ground was not my most smart idea. His Hands, because I'm trying to work on that every day as I do the scripture study, so that's one. And then also to work on Celtic Winter, because that piece does have a goal of 2,000 stitches during this winter season, so I would love to knock that out. I mean, obviously I can't knock that out in one night, but make some progress on it. On February 17th is Figure Skating. Stitch on any piece that requires specialty stitches. And for that, I chose Esther's Waves. This is a Year of Whips piece. And my goal for Year of Whips is to do 4 bands and 4 Jessica bands as well. So I've got 1 band of Jessica's done, and I'm almost done with this one. And then there's some raised stitches in there, I believe. I'm saving the beading for last. I haven't even bought the beads yet. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do for figure skating. That's Esther's Waves from Northern Needlework Expressions. Or Northern Expressions. I don't remember. I'm sorry. What did I do? Okay. Whew. Scaring myself. Okay, February 18th, Heaven, Earth, and Humanity. Stitch on any pieces related to those themes. I am planning on doing Silent Night Lane. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs piece. Yeah, that's basically. February 19th, 15 Sport Discipline. Stitch on something related to the number 15. And I'm doing To Have and to Hold. If you count the letters in To Have and to Hold, that equals 15. So, that's how I'm fitting that in. February 20th is Olympic Village. Stitch on a piece with a house or a building. Again, To Have and to Hold, it's got the church building on it. February 21st, 79. There's 79 nations. Stitch on something related to the numbers 7 and 9. So what I decided to do was I took numbers 7 and numbers 9 on my Year of Whips list, and I'm going to work on both of those pieces that day. So the number 7 on my Year of Whips was Main Street Sal by Country Cottage Needleworks. And this is where I'm at on that. So I did the top border all the way across, and then I've done this first one. They just released the last part of that, so I'm already curious about what her next stitch along is going to be. I love Country Cottage, and I love Little House Needleworks. Number 9 on my Year of Whips list was Little House Needleworks Lantern Lane. And this is what it will look like in the end. And this is where I'm at. So, long way to go. Maybe I could finish the tree during the Olympics. I don't know. We'll see. On February... why do I keep pressing that? February 22nd, International Competition. Stitch on a piece with an international or travel theme. And I picked Giant Harry Potter. It's loved around the world, so I'm going to say that's international. They have the Quidditch World Cup. That's international. They have the Tri-Wizard competition. That's international. February 23rd, Host City, Pyeongchang. Stitch on something related to the letter P or the letter C. I again chose Giant Harry Potter. Potter starts with a P, so there we go. February 24th, 4 new events. There are 4 events competing in the Olympics for the first time this year. Stitch on a piece that requires you to do something you've never done before. And this is a little bit of a stretch, but I did choose my Hardanger, the Hardanger piece. Even though that starts next week, Hardanger is something that's new to me, and it will be new to me this month. So I'm counting that. February 25th, closing ceremony, stitch on a piece you are close to finishing. And I chose to have and to hold because I would really like to finish that. If by some miracle it's already finished by then, I'll pick something else that's really close to finishing. Maybe my April cottage. Okay, so that concludes the Olympic plans. So please, please vote down in the comments and let me know if you think that I should do Around the World in 80 Stitches as just monogamous stitching only on that for the 80 days. Not the 80 days. Woo, boy. For the chunk of time that is the Olympics. It's just over 2 weeks. It's like 2.5 weeks. Or if you think that I should do Stitch Mania's daily theme. So please comment down below. As if all these plans weren't crazy enough, I'm in this group called the Ultimate Cross Stitch Group, and there's this challenge called Every Stitch Counts, and for it, every day has a little stitch count, and so I'm not decided for sure that I'm going to do it yet. But if I do, the 2 pieces I'm debating for it, the first one is Long Dog Samplers, Castles in the Air. This is a Year of Whips piece. I want to finish 3 pages on this. And here is where I'm at. I'm almost done with the first page. The first page, it goes to about here and to about here. So I'm almost done with the first page. I love this fabric. It's by a dyer who no longer dyes. I got it from Janet, one of the ladies at the cross-stitching get-together nights that I'm in, that we do every month. It's a local stitching group. And she was getting rid of it, and so I got it. It's called Bindi from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Daya. It's a 32 count Belfast. The other piece that I'm debating for that is the Linen and Threads. Oh no. Oh boy. I need to fix this Velcro for this bag because it's the only bag where the Velcro is not sticking, and I think that's because I didn't set a book on it for long enough to set it. Anyways, the Linen and Threads 2008 Mystery, and February's was released today, and that's the band that goes for February. This is a freebie pattern on their website. And this is where I'm at on that. I figured these monochromatic one color pieces would be something that would be easy for a daily stitch count. There's no thread color changing involved. It's easy to count. So if I decide to do it, and again, opinions are welcome in the comment section. If I decide to do it, it'll be one of these 2 pieces. Stick. Stick. So I have one other little stitching thing that I would like to show. And that is, I was watching a new to me channel. I think they started again in December. And it's called The Stitching Social, and it's 2 sisters in Canada. And one of the things they talked about in maybe their 3rd video was a whip of shame. They wanted to show a whip of shame. That's a whip that hasn't seen the light of day in a while. And so I thought that would be a fun little thing to add to my videos. And so the whip I picked for this one is, I chose it because of Michelle Bendy Stitchy. She did Alice from Brooks Books. And I mentioned that it made me want to pull out my Alice. Oh, I thought I was further along than I am. Oh, boy. Anyways. So I thought I'd share with you guys this whip. I decided to do the border all the way across for the top row. So apparently I'm still filling in the black. Probably about halfway done. Yeah, a little less, I guess. Oh yeah, definitely a little less. But Michelle goes, oh yeah, pull it out again. So even though I pulled it out, it didn't make it into my plans. Oh boy. So there's just this. It's my whip of shame. I love this piece. Brooks Books is amazing, but she's also intimidating. There's just so much to each of her designs. So I thought I would share this one with you guys as a flashback. And I'm going to try to put whips of shame into my videos. And I will try to link the Stitching Social tomorrow when I link the other things I said I would link. So if you're just here for the stitching, that's it. I'm going to talk a few other things real quick. Reading. Okay, you guys know I made that 150 book goal. According to Goodreads, I'm 7 books behind schedule. No one likes being yelled at by a website, right? I mean, they're not really yelling, but it feels like it. Anyways, since we last spoke, I have finished 2 more books, and I'm about halfway through on a 3rd. And again, I'm also halfway through on Harry Potter and the Sorcerer... No. Yes? Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I'm a good portion into Sense and Sensibility. These are all ones... Well, maybe not the Harry Potter one. But Sense and Sensibility I'll definitely finish this month. And I expect to finish the book I'm currently listening to tomorrow. But I read The Marriage Pact by Michelle. When I say read, I mean listen to on audio because that's pretty much all I do. The Marriage Pact by Michelle Richmond. And this is maybe like a psychological kind of book. Like psychological thriller, but it wasn't really a thriller. But I think I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads. I would give it a 3.5, but it's a 3.5 leaning more towards the 4 than the 3, so maybe like a 3.75, but Goodreads doesn't let you break it down that much. But it was really good. I really enjoyed the characters, the plot. Basically, to do a little synopsis, I guess, it's this couple that are getting married, and at their wedding, or just before their wedding, they received this mysterious box in the mail, and it's locked, but they weren't given a key to open it. And after they come home from their honeymoon, the box is opened, and they're invited to join this mysterious secret society called the Marriage Pact. They have to sign a contract. There's rules. There's punishments. And it's this whole thing about how far the pact is willing to go. And it's supposed to bring couples together. I mean, there's rules like every month you have to give your spouse a thoughtful gift. And it doesn't need to be expensive, but it should be with them in mind. Or if your spouse calls, you always answer. There's rules about like date nights. There's rules about every quarter you're supposed to take a vacation with your spouse. So all these rules about this society that's supposed to better your marriage, but if you want out, there's not really a way out. And so, I'm not explaining it really well, but it was really good. I really enjoyed this book. The next book I read was The Last Tutor by Philippa Gregory. And I discovered that there are books in that series that I didn't read, even though I thought I had. But so basically, this book follows the Grey sisters. So we have Jane Grey, the queen for 9 days who was beheaded. She was the queen after Edward and before Mary, who was followed by Elizabeth. But okay, so this book was broken down by points of view of the 3 sisters. So the first portion of the book is Jane, and that takes you up through when she gets executed. Then we follow her next sister, Catherine Grey. And well, I'm sure there's a lot of, well, of course, there's a lot of fiction in this book because it's historical fiction. There were also things that were true, like events that this real person went through that you don't really hear a lot about her in history classes or anywhere, really. And then they had a third sister named Mary. And, I think I gave it 4. It maybe should have been a 3. I don't know. But this series was really interesting because normally books that are around the time of Queen Elizabeth, because most of the book was set when Elizabeth was queen, are all positive about Elizabeth and all great. And she was a great queen. I'm not saying that she wasn't. But this is from the point of view of characters who she didn't do great things to them. She was really quite cruel to these 2 ladies. I mean, they were imprisoned for pretty much the majority of their lives because they married without permission. And it was interesting to read from the point of view of characters who maybe in the time really didn't like Elizabeth. And so that was just different. And I enjoyed it. And Philippa Gregory says that is the last in her series, and she's writing in a different time period now. She's writing a book in a different time period. So I'll be interested in what this new series is about. And catching up on those books that I didn't read. I know to take what she says with a grain of salt in terms of historical accuracy, but I still think it's really fascinating. I am getting a bunch of my reading mojo back because I've entered a few Goodreads challenges. There's an Olympics one too, and I'm participating in that with Vicky from Reading and Stitching. And I'm also doing a fairy tale battleship in the same group. And so it's really nice to be listening to books again. And hopefully this month I'll be able to, but then there's the Olympics. That's going to slow my reading down because I'm going to want to watch it instead of listening to books at night. But I hope to pick up my reading books numbers. Otherwise I'm not going to meet that 150 goal. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is a little bit about health and fitness. I told you guys last week that I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I'm doing pretty good. Emotionally, I've turned a lot around and I'm in a much better place. There's a few people that I talk to frequently, fellow Stitchers, and they've been really encouraging and really great. And my family is so supportive and so awesome. My mother is a total mama warrior bear, and I love her so much. She has given me reading materials up the wazoo, and 3 of these are cookbooks. And so now that I'm armed with information, I'm armed with cookbooks, with recipes that are, I mean, they're specific to diabetes. So we have Diabetes Meals by the Plate. This is a Better Homes and Gardens. We have Diabetes Slow Cooker. So that's fantastic. It breaks down how many carbs are in each meal. It breaks down what the serving size is, like actual, so you can measure it from what you're cooking. What was the third cookbook? The Type 2 Diabetic Cookbook and Action Plan. So those are great. Then she also gave me American Diabetes Association Complete Guide to Diabetes, the Mayo Clinic's The Essential Diabetes Book, Diabetes Without Drugs, the 5-step program to control blood sugar naturally and prevent diabetes complications, and then Dr. Neil Bernard's program for reversing diabetes. So over the next however long it's going to take me, I'm going to be reading through these books. I'm going to be cooking new meals. I went grocery shopping the other day, and instead of the last time I went grocery shopping, seeing all the things that I couldn't eat anymore, instead I saw all the things I could eat. I discovered a new, I went to this store called Sprouts. It's kind of, like fresh foods. I don't know. But anyways, in their frozen section, they had this Mediterranean quinoa. It was delicious. It was in my allotted amount of carbs that I was allowed to have per meal, and it was so good, and I never would have tried that before. So this is getting me to try things, to eat things that I wouldn't have before, to stay healthier, to not drink soda, and it's going really great. Really great, guys. My attitude has turned around. My blood sugar level has gone down. So I'm feeling great. I know I've used that word a lot, but I'm doing really good, guys. And I'm just really happy to share that. The other thing is that dealing with diabetes, it's not just about food. You also have to fit in exercise. Exercise is really important. Taking walks and getting going and doing exercise helps deal with the sugars in your body and brings the blood sugar levels down and stuff like that. And so exercise is just something that's always been difficult for me because I have asthma. And so things like running has always been difficult. And also, when I get home, I just want to get into comfy clothes and I want to do my stitching. And so, one of my viewers contacted me via Instagram, and we've been talking back and forth for quite a while. And, we're now going to, like, be accountable to each other in regards to exercise. She wants to improve her fitness too, which is great. If you want a fitness accountability partner, please reach out, because the more people who are holding me accountable, the more likely I am to... I'm a people pleaser by nature, so the more people I have to please, the better I'm going to stick to it, honestly. And then, so then one of the things that I've decided to do is that on this other channel that I watch called Morning Stitches, she's doing a Walk America, so she's going across each state. And in one of the comments on one of her videos, someone asked if she'd ever heard about Walking to Mordor challenge. And so I kind of like backburnered that in my mind, like, it might have been a couple months ago. But this has gotten me started. And so I'm going to walk to Mordor and back with Frodo and Sam. And I'm going to throw that ring into the fire. And then we're going to go back and we're going to do this all together. And yeah, I'm super excited. So I'm going to try to include reports about that at the ends of my videos, just to let you guys know where I'm at. And since I have such an amazing supportive family, my mom is going to do this with me, and she's further along in going to Mordor than me. She's like, oh, I left Hobbiton, and what's the other place? I don't know, she's like, Tookland. She's like, they're in my rear view mirror. And I'm like, dang, I have not entered Tookland yet. Mom, you're killing me. But, my aunt's gonna do it with us. I would like my sisters to do it, but they have not responded in the positive yet. As a matter of fact, they just completely ignored that conversation. So, I'm still holding out hope. But if any of you guys want to walk to Mordor with me, I have a spreadsheet. I'm not afraid to let you guys join in the journey. So, this has my weight on it, and I don't care. I've been working on losing weight, and I'm proud of where I'm at now. This is the latest I've weighed since sophomore year of college, and I'm proud of that fact. It's not where it should be, but we're getting there. I'm about 25 pounds away, and that's like a miracle to me. So there's this website, aonchallenge.net, and they have a breakdown of everything. And one of the pages they include is a weekly charter. So I missed Monday and I missed yesterday because I went out to dinner and then it was too late to do exercise. But I did 3 miles on Tuesday. So I missed Wednesday. Sorry, I got so excited. I was talking so fast. Then it also has a breakdown of all the legs of the journey. So this is Bag End to Rivendell. So I went and I highlighted as I passed through each thing. So let me just tell you guys what I've done. I've done 3 miles. So leave Bag End at full dark. Go around West End, jump hedge. Go through gate into a lane, head west. Leave lane, follow hedgeroad south. Cross the water on a plank bridge. I mean, this breaks it down, like, step by step. So you always feel like you're having some kind of accomplishment. Like, the next one is cross the Great Road from the Brandywine Bridge, enter Tookland. I'll probably make that tonight. Depends on how much I get on my walk. But guys, I'm super excited about it. And if I remember, I'll try to include links to the challenge. There's 2 links. And I'll try to include those down in the notes below. But if you want to join in, honestly, the more the merrier. If you want to message me and talk to me in private, you can contact me on Instagram or on Facebook or in the messages system through YouTube or whatever else that you want to do. I'll try to include the links to my pages down below. So if you want to talk, you know, we all have things we're going through, and I would love to be here for some of you guys like you guys have been here for me. It has changed everything, and I'm so grateful. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And I'm going to end this video now before it cuts me off again because I do not want to refilm this. So I hope you all have had a great start to the year. You had a great stitching January. I'll be back, I don't know when, because not this weekend, but the weekend after that, my parents are in the country for like 2 months with my youngest sister, but I'm going down to my other sisters to visit them for the weekend. And so, I don't know when I'll film again. Maybe I'll try to film the night before. But, I hope that you guys had a great time. Please tell me if you think that I should do Around the World in 80 Stitches, or if I should do the Stitch Mania daily thing. I'm really torn at this point. So any advice or any opinions are welcome, and I won't be offended. So, yeah. Have a great rest of your day. Happy stitching. Bye.